Gerbing are the masters of keeping us warm and toasty at the very coldest parts of the riding season, and they've got some fantastic new items for autumn-winter 2019. Next to me here we have the Gerbing Basic Heated Jacket Liner, and this is something we've tested and it's worked absolutely wonderfully, so we're really excited to tell you about it. We all know how horrible and unpleasant it can be if you're under-geared and under-insulated on a long journey. This takes out any chance of that being a possibility. It's so effective and performs so very well indeed. So this comes in at $189.99, which isn't cheap, but it definitely does live up to that price point. So this works by virtue of a jacket fitted with heated elements that run through the body and the back and down the sleeves. So the only exceptions really being these stretch panels on the inside of the arms and on the sides. Everything else runs with this heated element, and there are various different heated settings, and it's hooked up to your bike's battery to power it. So a 12-volt supply, which gives you more than enough power. And on the highest setting on this, really you're likely to cook even in the coldest conditions. So it's more than enough. If you're someone like me that tends to be a little bit turned off by the idea of having to get a spanner out and hook this up to your bike or do anything that sounds remotely complex, then do not be alarmed. It's very, very straightforward to get this thing to work. So the way it works, you have these various pockets. We'll run through all the features in a minute, but when it comes to actually operating the thing, you have this one YKK zip on the left-hand side, which runs down to up, unlike all the rest of the zips, so it's easy to tell which is which. And you have this single connection point inside it, and you hook that up to a remote control so that you can actually cycle through the different settings on the jacket itself. There are 4 different settings. We'll go through those in a moment. So the idea being that you'd have somewhere to have access to this as you go along, and then this simply hooks up to the lead that emanates from the battery itself, which again is very straightforward. So you get all this included, of course, with the kit when you buy it. And this is essentially the 90cm long cable that starts everything off. So this goes onto your battery with the red and the black, so the positive and the negative terminals. And all you have to do here is simply unscrew the screws that are already in the battery terminal, plug them back in, and then you will note that on the positive terminal, you have this inline fuse. So the fuse there doesn't have one in it when you get the lead out because you need to put the appropriate fuse in. You get a pack with Gerbing, and the different fuses are essentially depending on which Gerbing item it is that you're actually hooking up. In this case, the jacket simply needs the brown fuse. It says this in the instructions. It's very straightforward. So just pop the brown fuse in there for the heated jacket that we have here. Close that up. Hide or use however much or little of the wire you need under the battery. So whether that's something you access under your seat or via side access on the bike. In the case of Rob's bike here, you can see that he has managed to do this just through a side access point, hooking this up and then hiding most of the wire so that this little part just pokes out on the left-hand side of the bike. Using the left because, as you can see, this enters the jacket on the left-hand side, so it's the most logical place to pop that. And then very simply, that thing from the actual remote just hooks in there. So essentially, once you've hooked up this battery connector, that stays on the bike, stays out the way, and then you've got the remote, which just hooks in when you want it to. You can unhook the remote and just pop that away in the pocket when you're off the bike if you want to walk around. But otherwise, when you're going along, that's how you get it all connected. It's really straightforward. And then you can cycle through the heat settings, which are 25, 50, 75, and 100% power. So 25 and 50 are the default settings, and if you just simply click this button in the middle, the LEDs will change color from blue to green, blue being 25%, green being 50%, and it will just continue to cycle through those, displaying which one you're on by the light. And if you want to unlock 75%, you actually do have to do that. You have to unlock it by holding it down for 10 seconds to make sure you're sure, because it really is quite hot. So you do that and it will go to amber for 75%. And if you want to get to 100, you're mad, but then you unlock it by doing the same thing on amber for 10 seconds, unlocking it with the red LED displaying, and that's 100%. So just to give you some idea here, when we used this on a 4 AM trip departure and it was 4 degrees, we only needed the 50% level because we put it on 75 and actually it was way too hot. At first we were sort of thinking, oh, this is quite nice. It heats up and very quickly becomes too hot. So goodness knows what 100 is like. You'd have to be somewhere very, very cold indeed. But the basic point is that this jacket will keep you warm in all conditions. So just running through the actual features of the jacket itself, aside from the heated element, this is something that's really tailored very nicely. I think it actually does look surprisingly nice off the bike as well. If you just wanted to wear this, kind of in the office or just around the kind of workshop or whatever it is you do, this is a nice looking jacket with this soft shell exterior. Do really like the look of it. As I said, very, very form fitting, and that's obviously got to be the way it fits because it needs to sit close to your body. There's no value in having this being loose fitted at all. So I'm 6'2" with just under a 42-inch chest. I've gone for the large, fits spot on and true to the size guide. Any questions there, head over to urbanrider.co.uk for more info. You can see you've got a few different pockets to work with and a few just nice different style points which just are there to make this jacket look nicer, but the pockets are useful. So you've got 2 YKK zips across this chest section with a horizontal access and the 2 vertically accessed ones as well. And you've got these elasticated cuffs, a really silky smooth collar piece as well, really comfortable. And actually this collar piece is also heated, so it really does go all the way through the jacket. If you go down the inside, you're going to see that you've just got a simple storage option there on that inside part as well. So the Gerbing Basic Heated Jacket Liner, essentially, if you want something that's heated, that's a jacket that fits underneath what you've already got, then look no further. This is the answer to your problems. It's not cheap, but this is an investment. You get a lifetime guarantee on the heated elements, a 2-year guarantee on the remote control, and a manufacturer's warranty of 1 year for the rest of the garment. So it's backed up by a very tried and tested brand, and we think that this is a great place to put your money in the winter. Keep yourself really comfortable and warm, and you can laugh at all those other people who feel cold as they go along. Thanks very much for watching. If you've got any questions, comments, leave that in the section below, and do subscribe to our channel. We've got more great gear from Gerbing on the way shortly, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.